Hey guys, it's Tom from Tentworld. Today we have the OZtrail Deluxe double bunk bed. Stay with me and I'll show you around some of the features. All right, here we have it all set up in its first formation in the bunk bed style. There is another way you can do it with this top bunk sitting next to it, but I'll show you that one soon. So if you've got it in the bunk bed set up like this, the weight ratings for the bottom bunk can have a max weight of 120 kilos on it and the top bunk with 100 kilos on it. They've put a lot of effort into the design of making this bunk bed nice and stable. So aside from the tubular steel frames, which are powder coated, they're nice and heavy and weighted. There's also on each quarter an anti-roll support. As you can see, you've got two safety rails here up on the top bunk. These both come in at about 22 centimeters high. And you'll notice just on one of them here at the front, you've got some handy little pockets here to store some items in overnight. The bunk beds themselves, they're made out of a 600 denier polyester fabric. That's just nice, thick and sturdy and relatively easy to clean. The way that they've attached the bedding here to the frame is through a superior 50mm buckle and webbing attachment method. That just means, as you can see, the bedding's not going to slide around the frame and it's going to feel nice and secure. When you've got it set up in this bunk bed style like this, it's going to come in at a height of about 108 centimeters. That's including your railings here. And the beds themselves are 72 centimeters wide and 180 centimeters long. So obviously more than enough space for little kids, but you can also fit grown adults on there as well. So this is it all packed up away in its carry bag. We're going to take it out now and I'll run you through how to set it up. All right, so here we've got all of our parts out of the carry bag now and we're going to go straight into setting it up. We're going to start by setting up the bottom bunk first. Easy way to tell which one's the bottom one. The top bunk has these little pockets here, the bottom bunk doesn't. So we're going to start with our bottom bunk and we're just going to find a nice big space and open it out. And we're just going to make sure our steel frame clicks into place. Everything's in nicely. So we've got our bottom bunk all laid out. The next thing we want to do is attach our legs either side. Doesn't matter which leg goes where. So we'll grab one here. As you can see on the bottom here is our anti-roll support, so that's going to go to the floor. When you put these in, you're not going to put them in this top hole here because that's going to be to attach our top bunk later. There's a little nook here. That's where you're going to slide those into place there. And then we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side here. Next thing we want to do back up at the head is this Velcro section. Going to put it over the outside frame here, roll it back under, Velcro it together. And this is just going to keep the bedding nice and tight. We're going to do the same thing down on this end. This side, however, is not Velcro. We've got our 4 buckles here. So we're going to pop it over and buckle them together underneath. Last thing we want to do for this bottom bunk is this extra arch support here. You've got it all together so you can flip over the bunk for a bit of easier access. This is just going to go down the head of it, clip in on that side and this side, and then you can flip it back over and your bottom bunk's ready to go. So if you're going to have it set up in the bunk bed mode, next thing you want to do is grab your 4 poles, and these are just going to slide into this top place here in each of the corners. Next thing you want to do is grab these ones, and these are going to go on each side of the bed. They're both the same, so it doesn't matter which one you put on which side. Next thing we want to do is lay out our top bunk, just how we did with our bottom bunk. So we'll lay it out and make sure all of our poles click back into place. So now we've got our top bunk. We're going to do what we did with the bottom bunk and place each of these corners into this front nook here on each side. Just making sure that we've lined up the head of the bed with this tag with the same head of the bed on that end. All right, we've got our top bunk in place and we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to go to each end. This side's got our Velcro strap and we're going to put it around the outside of the frame. This is just to keep the bed nice and tight. Go through, Velcro it underneath. And then on this side, we've got our buckles again. So the buckles on both the top bunk and the bottom bunk are obviously adjustable. So if you want to tighten those buckles to get this bunk nice and stretchy and taut, you can do so. Tighten it up, all 4 of them to keep it even, and then you can go ahead and also do the same on the bottom bunk as well. And the last thing you want to do is attach your safety rails here for the top bunk. As you can see, there's 2 holes either side of the bed. Slide it into place, going to bring our rail here underneath, back around, and it's got a Velcro bit down the bottom here. That's one of them done, and we're going to repeat that process on the other side. Just make sure you bring it underneath and back around to the outside, and it's going to Velcro in on the bottom. So that's our nice and easy setup to get it in this bunk bed formation. As I did mention, you can have it separately where you have this bed just sitting next to it. I'll show you how to do that now. If you want them set up in this formation, the process is exactly the same. You get your bottom bunk set up, you get your top bunk set up, put those guardrails on, and then instead of attaching your legs to make it a bunk bed, you can keep these off to the side, and these are just going to sit right next to each other. I'm going to show you how to pack up this product now, basically the opposite of what you did to set it up. We're going to start by detaching our safety rails. Unvelcro that side, we'll do this side as well. Then we're going to go ahead and flip this over and we'll start by unbuckling this side and unvelcroing that side. The next thing you want to do is take the legs off. We've got it all detached. These will just slide off over here. And the last thing you want to do for this bunk is we're just going to go ahead and pop out this frame here. So you just pull it can fold back down on itself. Then you want to go ahead and repeat the exact same thing for this bed here. So we're going to flip it over. Going to unbuckle this side, unvelcro this side here. Take off our little extra support pole in the middle. Take off our feet, and then you're going to go ahead and do the same thing. Pop out the 2 points of these poles, fold them over as you go. As you can see, it just folds nicely on itself. Fold it all up, put it together. Gonna put all that bit back into our carry bag and we're done. Thanks for watching, guys. And like always, if you have any questions, feel free to visit one of our 15 store locations across Australia or chat to our online team. Happy camping.